You have to hit skill shots, you have to play it in a way that is actually effective. So despite the champion being good, may not see it. So remember, no bans. We can do whatever we want. And where do the teams want to go? Have they got a strategy, or are they actually going to all just go to V-Rank?
Yeah, the interesting thing here is it's lottery pick, and so you can all commit to something, or you could all pick for different things and just kind of see what happens. But we've seen what the CIS team wants to be.
Okay, is this a preempt of an Ezreal pickup?
Yeah, I actually had this conversation. Funnily enough, with the Oceanic team again, they played against the CIS region, which is how they have all this information and wealth of knowledge there. The Yasuo was okay into Ezreal, but the second the wind wall's down, you can all just go forwards.
Yeah.
You just need to keep count effectively of those wind walls. However, the Japanese side have directly countered a Yasuo.
Wow, all right, Jarvan coming in for the Japanese lineup.
Where is your wind wall now, CIS? Where is it?
How useful is it now? Because Dragon Strike will go through the wind wall, because it's not a projectile.
That has to be one of the scariest things that you'd ever see. The second it's locked in, and you know your opponent's champion, to be the Yasuo and to see the Jarvan.
Right now, Edward turning behind him. Can we remake? Is that a possibility? Lag.
It's got to be lag.
Did not want the Yasuo. So now Yasuo, the Yasuo squad, playing without one of their spells. You actually just wouldn't put a point in it now, right? Because it doesn't affect your passive anymore. So
I mean, like, the only time that I would consider putting a point into it is actually for minions, perhaps for early laning if you're a solo laner or something like that. Jungle has the utility, I suppose, with it there, where you can use it to
objectives.
Yeah, exactly. Taking dragons, taking barons. So you get 1 point. I'd say level 8 win wall, maybe.
It's going to be the Anivia thing where you really just want to put your points into Q and E, but generally you max out E anyway because you get like 20 damage from a level up in Q anyway. So
yeah, you can actually max both as well with the Jarvan, like the support Jarvan that maxes the E. I don't know if it changes the amount. Could be the cooldown. So either way, it's
damage.
Useful.
So maybe he goes AP. There's a cheesy AP Jarvan build that you can go. But of course, the ultimate is AoE now, so that's something to keep in mind as well. So the Yasuos do not want to group up. But either way, guys, jump on Twitter, vote at LoL Esports using the hashtags CISWin and JPNWin. Lock in your votes for who you think is going to reign supreme in this one-for-all matchup. Yasuo versus Jarvan. My money's on the Jarvans.
I find it hard to not go for the Jarvans when you look at the champion matchup, but Yasuo, always a skill matchup. Every single Yasuo matchup becomes skill if he can outplay you in some way, dodge the flag and drag, get out of the ultimate by using the dash at the right time. There's chances for it. You can also go the Frozen Mallet Phantom Dancer build so that you can reduce damage done and be sticky. It's just so hard to do against the Jarvan.
I'm just scared. If I was up against a lineup of Jarvans, I don't want to get hit by the quick Venn diagram. Everyone dog piles on you with a Cataclysm.
Yeah, Jarvan 1 ults, you dash out of it, and Jarvan 2 ults. Yeah. And you're just stuck again anyway.
Exactly. If anyone groups up, any two Yasuos are next to each other, then the Jarvans are going to come in, and both of them are going to get completely obliterated. So, need to be careful of that. Meanwhile, on the other side, any knock-up lands onto the AoE. So, name of the game, don't group up, because you're going to be hit by some pretty big ultimates from both teams. Absolutely.
Very dangerous prospect. Yasuo jungle, also actually quite good. Another thing that I stupidly play because it just isn't meta. You can... having the shield very handy, especially when you get to different camps, is... Look, that was a pretty good start.
I still like this from Zanzare. He's the only one going Courage of the Colossus, so he's the designated tank of this team. Meanwhile, triple tanks coming in from Fire. That's actually interesting. It's just like, okay. We're going to just get to the point where the Yasuos just can't kill us. It's not as manly as I would have liked. I want everyone to go full AD.
Also, special credit has to be given to Edward and Lex committing to the double relic shield. One of the only ways that a bottom lane 2v2 will start to shine, whereas the opposition side of the LJL hasn't gone for it. Personally, I'm sad, because it means you're not farm sharing. One of them will get far less gold.
Yeah, double relic is just good for early laning. With the extra regeneration as well, pretty much just in every aspect. So
every Mordekaiser player knows this, and Atlus.
And Atlus.
He knows this.
So if you're at home and you want to play a double melee lane, then just go for the Relic Shield. It's good.
Yeah, DM Atlus for tips.
He's got you. Saras is being pushed in. That's a big wave.
It's too big. He needs to show some respects.
Yeah, Kira is just jumping him in. Should be able to pick up most of these minions, though. They're not too heavily damaged. The back wave in pretty much perfect place. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't actually hit the low health minions a little earlier.
Yeah, I think he was preparing them with the cannon to Q it. So
yeah,
either way, he will get them. So a nice start for the Yasuos. This isn't really where the problems are, however, for them. It's the level 6 point, the items that come through, all of the raw AD that can come out of these Jarvans will absolutely ruin their lives.
The problem is Yasuo has to hit a skill shot or just dash in, but they're jumping onto Dara first off. Lex exhausted, Hereti standing in front of Dara, and will get tagged up by the tornado just at the very end. Saras jumping onto Kira in the 1v1. Low on mana though. Kira not a mana user, so it's not in the most horrible of situations.
Really well timed though.
Was trying to come in there, ward over the wall. We'll see the enemy jungler.
Jarvan really is a dirty tactic.
Yeah, it's great. That's what I would do, for sure.
Also, Smurf definitely has, like, all attack speed runes. I feel like he's got a 27% attack speed page or something. Look at how quick this man Qs.
He's the ADC.
And he's played a lot of Yasuo.
He has. I'll see how it works out for him. And if he actually does go for an ADC build, because that could be quite interesting. Ah, Targons now for the bot lane, so actually going all in on this one.
Yeah.
Because
not against it.
No, I'm not against it either. Typically, when you go for the double Relic Shield start, you just keep at the Relic Shield, and then you go for the rest of your items. Okay, one step further. Double Face of the Mountain doesn't seem like a bad thing to me, though.
Not at all, and even just leaving it at that. Like, one of them can get the Sightstone upgrade, perhaps, and eventually you can sell. Kira. There you go.
Can Jarvans jump to other Jarvan flags?
I think so. I don't know if the coding is different on Summoner's Rift to the one-for-all Snowdown map, but you definitely should be able to. Who knows? Because let's just find out.
There was a change a while ago where you can have 2 flags down as a single Jarvan, and you can jump to both of those. So I'm gonna say you can, but we will find out in this game for sure.
If we don't, there's some serious problems.
Yeah. And it's really just waiting at this point for the game to get rolling, and we're just waiting for those level 6s really from both teams. Yasuo is really not suffering because laning phase is fine, but it's at that level 6 mark where we'll see the sparks fly.
Yeah, it's around the level, I'd say 7, because 6 is the most important part, having the extra part of your burst, but also by the time you recall, get all the long swords, and things start to really open up for your Jarvan-based team. They will yell Demacia a lot after that point. Like, a lot.
Hang on, what are we doing on skins this game? Did all the Jarvans go vanilla?
They're all base, I think, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're absolutely all base.
Is it all product as well? No, I definitely saw a High Noon Yasuo. Yeah, it's in top lane.
Yeah, Smurf.
So I don't know what the strategy is there necessarily. I mean, the synergy bot lane because you had the 2 project skins.
Could be different animation colors and stuff, you know?
Okay.
Now, Blood Moon's arguably the best one for throwing out your tornadoes.
But I think in general, don't you all want to be the same skin so you can mask which Yasuo is doing what? Because that was the thing with Ezreal, right? Like, you don't know which Arcane or which True Shot Barrage is going to hit you harder. So...
That's true, but they're also global ultimates from the Ezreal. I guess in comparison, the Yasuo has to be like within range anyway.
Right. That makes sense.
And you can put names on, so you'll know it's Edward throwing it, and he's the support, so it should do less.
But in a team fight, are you really able to just read their name? It's just like, ah, yes, Edward here hit me harder than Lex. It's like, no, there's like 17 tornadoes flying towards you. Someone's ulting, and it's just like, I don't want it. Ah!
I can't speak for everybody, but I think I can watch names. I'm trying to remember if I do.
Yeah.
Let's just go with yes. But it's not a standard thing, I suppose.
I just don't think I'll be able to trust myself when so much is going on. Xandra, he's back on his 2nd clear now. He's doing quite well for himself, yeah. Yasuo jungle, not too shabby, and of course Jarvan can jungle himself. Not a top-tier jungler anymore, had armor shaved off his Demacian standard, kind of gutted him, took AD off him as well, so also hurt him.
Oh, there he is.
Here's the ult. He's still following after. Xandra was looking for the gank, but he's good to go for now.
Xandra also going for his armor boots as the immediate item purchase. Not a bad decision against all of these Jarvans, as he's now looking for Tussle. And is definitely in kill range of Tussle.
Double buff on Zanzara. Tussle, nice flash timing. He was waiting on that tornado. Heretti coming down with his fellow Demacians. Here comes the ultimate. Demacia, Lex hits the floor. There is no escaping from this Japanese jungle.
The amount of Demacia that just dropped down actually blocks half of the Jarvans off, but still does enough damage, so they do get the kills, and this is the start. Potentially the beginning of the end for the Yasuos.
We are heading down the darkest timeline here, Rusty. Edward, he's under tower, but there's not many ultimates available. Tussle, he did use his in the last engagement. I believe they went to the same flag, but here's the combo, the flag and the drag. And the kill. Heretti. Mid lane, Saras locking Kira, but he's not quite under tower.
Good exhaust.
Now being followed after. Whoa, Kira. He's got the charge Q. Nice sidestep. Jumps into Saras. Takes one more tower shot. Maybe another one after this.
Nah,
oh, that was a little closer.
He is quite alright.
Heading in there. There's the wind walls. Evie from the sideline slaps him with his spear. Now coming down. Dara. Here's last job remaining. Here's the ultimate in from Lex. Trying to find Tussle. There's another one. Heretti is so dead. Under the wrap of the samurais, finishing him off.
And I guess the biggest difference here is if they don't all have the Jarvan ultimates available, they don't actually have the same amount of kill threat onto Yasuos, who have consistent damage to output and mobility to put in place, such as this. As Smurf made a slight error, but he's still going. He's just hanging out.
That's the extent of his combo for now. There were no more Yasuos, insufficient Yasuos to finish off Dara. But there was a decent amount of damage on that bot lane tower, so LCL will take that to the bank. And the CIS region need this game. If they lose it, they are out. So very important for them. So many teams riding on both of them. But Edward, ooh.
There was 2 flags, so we can't confirm or deny how it works just yet. 3 total.
On the same spot.
As they worked in unison. Pretty much simultaneous flag and drag, so they're saying go at the same time at least. And this is the thing, that flash on Zanzara works. The wind wall not necessary, but he has it, so you may as well use it.
Yep.
Same thing applies there. And Lex, it's the armor boots. It's like at this stage in the game, they are tanky enough if they dodge most of the spells from a Jarvan, but they can actually clean this stuff up because there is no ultimates. No one's gonna die.
Just realized that if you hit like 2 or 3 Jarvans, you can keep them suspended if you have multiple Yasuos around for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. You follow the ult with another ult.
They will never hit the ground. I want to see that happen. Kira, mid lane, still farming away. We typically don't look at the CS too much, but he does have that slight advantage against Seros. In top lane, Evie is bringing it down upon Smurf. So he's looking for this gank in top lane. He does have Cataclysm. Kira's going to jump in. There's the ultimate. It won't be the kill, but he'll get a nice bit of harassment damage down. And a return damage from Thunderlords from Dragon Strike will even up the damage. Toto's coming in. He does have his ultimate. There's the knock-up as well. Landing. Cataclysm 1. Cataclysm 2. Flashed away from. That is what you can do against Jarvan, however.
That is definitely the one thing that they do have going for them, is that you can flash and avoid the damage. That would have definitely killed Kira. Didn't have his exhaust, but now both summoners are down, and Fire decide not to push that middle lane, so they give Kira an opportunity to stay. And Tussle ganking is not going to be as effective without his ultimate to gap close. However, if Dara and Heretti are both there with theirs, doesn't matter.
Good timing for the ward there from Edward. We'll see the control ward plop down.
This is the lane I wouldn't dive, just for reference.
Significantly more tanky.
Yeah, it is a Balmy Cinder on Edward. And armor boots on Lex.
Yeah, don't want to dive that one. However, if you have, I would say critical mass of Jarvans are around like 4 for the ultimates of just like one-shotting someone. I think you can dive.
Blades and stuff like that. If they choose that build, it'd be even 3, perhaps. Oh, they stopped him.
That was good.
How exciting.
The extent of Jarvan Yasuo interactions.
It is a knock-up both. Like, last game was skill shots. It was Ezreal Corki trying to hit their stuff. This game's all about who can knock the other team up.
This is the Bounty Castle 1v1.
And Evie. There's 4 of them. This is the critical mass you were talking about.
Here we go, Evie. He's jumping in. In comes Tussle, doesn't get the knockup, but they are doing quite a lot of damage regardless of that. Here come the Cataclysms. There's the second one, there's the third, the fourth. Lex finds a double knockup, but he's in the middle of too many Jarvans. Seros falling after Zanzara. He was attempting to save his team, but he does have the backup of Yasuo number 2. Seros, where's he going? Well, probably a trip back to base. It's more than some capacity, but there's more. Ultimate's coming in from the Cataclysm. The Venn diagram comes up. And Yasuo, something's happening here, but I believe the Jarvans have won. Zanzara following Evie to his demise. And Smurf's up top lane. He's taken tower.
He has teleported Flash. Smurf could have joined them.
Oh, now he's coming. Oh, he's looking for the highlight reel play. Here he's going. Yeah, Tussle's dead. All right, he needs to find the second one.
The turret didn't fall.
Oh no, Evie's getting away, but he's flashing. He wants this. He wants the double. He wants to pad the scoreline, so he looks like the best Yasuo on the team. Edward steals it. Good man.
So that happened. A lot of fighting happened. We get to watch it all again. We'll do our absolute best to decipher this, and it all starts with Heretti tanking the turret because the minions hadn't reset. Lex plays this reasonably well. He stays out of range and tries to stack up his Q, but ends up going the other way. So Edward flashes well and dies. And then Lex does the best he can to hold on. Seros finds Zanzara, who tries to win wall a combo that doesn't work like that. And then Seros realizes he's far too deep because Zanzara is the one with the red buff. So he suicides.
However.
But he doesn't, because there's a lot of stuff that happens very quickly. It is hard to keep track, but both Yasuo's did ult off the knockup, so Zanzara does well to get out. Played well. Zanzara actually showing he's a decent Yasuo player. Can't beat auto attacks though.
Shoutouts to the observers for slowing down to 0.25 speed there to help us actually lock down what was happening.
Basically, they pressed all of their buttons extremely quickly, and stuff happened.
So are you telling me, Rusty, if you were shoved in that situation as a player, you'd be able to recognize everything that was happening there?
That? Okay. If I played thousands of 1 for All games, maybe.
All right.
This is an entirely different ballpark where we're looking at right now.
Can confirm. Do we have any variation in builds here? I know there is some on the LCL side. We have the Sunfire Cape, of course, from Edward. He is the tank.
Yeah, they'll all still go to crit, but they prioritizing armor boots.
Zanzara has gone Courage of the Colossus, remember? So he is also a tank. Oh no. Good luck, Smurf. This will have to be very much a hero play. Slammed against the floor. Zanzara coming in, hits some knockup. Seros also joining the mosh pit. In comes Heretti. There's flags everywhere. There's spears. There's dragon strikes. There's Edward not wanting any of this. 3-for-1 trade.
What is happening?
This is fantastic.
They all simultaneously flag and drag. There was 3 of them that hit 3 angles. Like there's no escaping the knockup. It's dirty. Edward.
The Yasuo is trying to run the equation. Is there any angle I can take that I'm not going to get hit by a flag and drag? The answer is no.
So many flags and drags.
It's so much of a mess, I can't see if you can jump to another Jarvan's flag. Hasn't really become a situation where
it's really not clear, is it, at the end of this?
But I would just love for like one Jarvan to toss down their flag and everyone to jump to it, to jump to an objective.
I feel like if they all dash through it, it'll reset from being angry. We'll see. Jarvans, I think they know. Yeah. And it's... they don't...
They have the plant there to reveal, but they didn't go for it.
I mean, it doesn't matter too much in the end.
No. That'd be a great band name, Samurai Party.
Would it? What kind of Samurai Party?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, speaking of, this is definitely a party. I don't think there's many samurais because they're all dying. You can ult, by the way, as Jarvan through Yasuo's ult, so you can stop the knockup, I should say. There's a good preventative measure, perhaps, when you come to team fights, as if nothing is...
Oh no, Kira. Oh, he's ignited. He has to go in with the ultimate. And Fire will plop back down and be quite happy that it picked up a kill onto Kira. Not quite the Shinigami he was last tournament.
Good awareness, though, from Kira to see the ignite in time to ult.
Yeah.
Won't save him.
Hello,
that was
friend.
the dash. Don't dash through the Jarvan or he ults. That's rule number 1.
How's it going, Smurf? Not too well. Does get the knockup.
Hey, he's fine.
Yeah.
Well, it is a tank top Jarvan.
Is he? Is he one of... No, he's not a tank.
Evie.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Smurf. Yeah, Evie is the tank top. Let's go for the Ravenous Hydra, though, so converting that into damage now.
Man, Dead Man's Plate, I think, will be where he goes next. This is interesting. Yeah. Heretti is committed to being an AD Jarvan. Seros has decided that he's going to complement his team with the Black Cleaver. I like that they haven't gone for a lot of them. And also, conveniently enough, Dara has received most of the golden kills, so the support still has items. Oh, whoa.
It's happening.
Whoa.
It's not happening.
Calm down.
Yeah, just chill out. Had the Courager of the Colossus, but no Yasuos to engage in the battle. Edward has been revealed here. In terms of lethality and how the items have changed, not seeing any of these Jarvans or even the Yasuos go for like the Ghost Blade and the Dusk Blades anymore.
I feel like there's a chance here that the Yasuos win this simply because of the item choices of the Jarvans. They're matching tankiness with tankiness. And I think a Yasuo's sustained damage actually starts to outmatch in the end. Then again, Jarvan hits Q. Everyone dies.
That's true. The shred is nice into all of the ultimates, all the cataclysms. And it is AoE as well, which they also have that going for them.
So I guess it's just who AoE is better. In the end, I think the Jarvan should have just went full AD, except for maybe 2 of them that could have been tanks, such as Evie and Dara.
Top lane. 1v1 of the century. Evie, nice interrupt from Smurf onto Evie's flag and drag. Not sure if that's going to help though. Tussle, he interrupts the 1v1. That was a battle of honor.
There was also 5 guys coming up through the river, so they now go back mid. The army of Jarvans yelling Demacia at everyone they see.
Watching just Jarvans run together just looks absurd. Edward knocked on the wall. In the air, this is just a complete Venn diagram bouncing. I don't know what's going on anymore. Zanzara, nice knocker. Oh, he was thinking about going back in, but the flag and drag will knock him up as well. 5 for 1. That was an ace.
And you know what we got from this pulse? They all went to 1 flag.
They did.
We finally worked it out. It was safe. Nothing else matters there. LJL obviously winning the fight quite convincingly. Maybe in time to get something done, such as another objective. Looking quite good. That was a cluster of just nonsense.
There are no real words to describe that one. Unfortunately, Jarvans don't push very fast. So I don't think they took any objectives.
You can see what their strategy is, though, as well. If they all get a Randuin's Omen, the crit-based champions will do less and less. Of course, we do get to see this one again. Okay. Edward kicks it off by wanting to be aggressive. There's a 3-on-3, so he's effectively distracting them. So Yasuo's go in. They all go in one after the other, and they're actually all just standing on top of each other as a result of this, where the Jarvans say, come at me, I am still a Jarvan. And Evie is actually a pretty big deal. We will see the flag and drag here at the end on Zanzar. 1 flag, 3 drags.
Good to know.
Confirmed.
That was like the best way to finish off the final kill as well.
It does feel satisfying, like as a Jarvan player and even as a viewer of a Jarvan, to watch them hit the knock-up aspect of it.
Up you go. And of course you can flag, drag, and then flash if you get the timing right.
That's hard.
For the knock-up. It is hard.
Same thing with Yasuo Tornado as well.
Going to do the air blade, but we're going to have another fiesta in the jungle. Dara chasing down Edward. The flash over the wall will be the disengage, and the flags are all that remain of that battle.
Except that they don't. All right, here we go.
The first flag and drag. Seros is the initiator, despite being the damage dealer. Dara jumping in. He finds knockup onto Kira. How many cataclysms do we have available? We're about to find out. That's a big knockup onto 3, but that's cancelled. Cataclysms go in. And Seros finds the kill onto Smurf. This is a complete disaster for the Samurai lineup. Edward is trying to juke. He's trying to dodge. He's zipping. He's zagging. But Dara will be there to follow after. And the rest of the Jums will find their quarry. 5-0, the ace for Japan.
Another big fight for the Japanese side, the Jarvans. And this is going to continue to happen. I think we've worked out what beats the Yasuos, and that is them all ulting the same target. They can't do that. They have to spread it out. They can't stand next to each other at any moment or they die. And because every time we've seen them fight now, the Jarvans are all getting knocked around, but they're all tanky Jarvans with their soon-to-be Randuins anyway. The second the knockups end, they all just die.
when everyone pushes their buttons, the Jarvan will always come out on top because they have the combo breaker with their ultimates. But we can see that again.
And this is what
looked good.
Yeah, and like Smurf hits a nice knock-up. It's followed up by the rest of the team and interrupts the flag and drags. But watch all of this. All of the ultimates are suspended in air for so long, and they all just say, nah. Like, nah, bro. Just get out.
All 3 of the Jarvans ulted at the same time to get out.
They're just like mashing their R key. And of course it interrupts knockup, so there's no further ultimates available or interrupts available. Jarvans will get their ults off. And all of the slows, all of the flag and drags. Poor Edward. There was nothing left.
No.
His team was dead.
He got to see all his brothers in arms.
Really is Cataclysm, aptly named.
Very much is. Very much the case when you have 5 of them coming down on you. Zanzara. Oh no. Oh. Oof.
Dara for a support. Legendary.
Yeah, he's having a good game.
Yeah, 20 out of the 23 kills as well he's been involved in.
Maybe he should move to top lane. Lex. Okay, saving the dash, but I'm not sure that's going to save him. Evie knocked up in the air, hits the chain. But unfortunately, the Yasuos just don't have enough damage now. Cataclysms have entered the arena, ladies and gentlemen.
Bring your walls down. There we go. All right. Kira.
Oh.
And Dara gets it as well. You can actually hear the LJL team behind us yelling their hearts out. Really enjoying this Jarvan game in One for All. And it feels like they've got the CIS team matched.
More than matched, honestly, in this game. And this is... everyone's hopes are riding on Japan bringing this win home. Zanzara trying his best, but CIS, they need this win. If they don't, they are out. Which is not what I was expecting from this lineup.
Tussle so happy. All right, we get to watch it again. Again, just do your best to decipher everyone at home what the heck you're watching. Of course, you can see this part. This all makes sense. And then Hereti comes in. And then people start ulting off the back of Lex's Q. So one by one, the Yasuos go in. And after the ults are all said and done, Jarvans. Then it's like, all right, I guess it's our turn. And about 6 flags and 7 drags and a whole lot of cataclysms are there. It's like they need rock climbing shoes almost to get across all of the Jarvan ultimates. And Kira just dies. I mean, he's 2-7. He's not having a great game. As a mid laner playing Yasuo, you expect better things. Unfortunate, but I mean, I can't expect things against a Jarvan.
No, honestly. And it's actually the support, as you correctly mentioned. Dara, who is the best Jarvan currently on the lineup, has not even died. He's just had a perfect game. Who's the best Yasuo? Probably Zanzara, I guess.
You'd have to say Zanzara. Smurf looks fine. He's just not grouping up as much.
Yeah.
Edward looked okay. I don't know if there's a outright best. I'd say maybe Zanzara.
Yeah. There's a big discrepancy now in terms of gold, and you can clearly see the Jarvans are winning by virtue of being Jarvan. And it really was going back to Champion Select.
Where are the frozen mallets
to remake.
That's where they went wrong. Phantom Dancers, frozen mallets. Don't go static shiv.
Or pick a Jarvan to duel.
Yeah.
And ult when you can.
Seriously, about Phantom Dancers. Reduce the damage of the Jarvans. They're building tanky. Like,
it's beginning. The beginning of the Cataclysm.
Armageddon. It's approaching.
That is the collective term. Yeah. Edward knocked up. He's knocked up again. Maybe knocked up a 3rd time, but this is the Armageddon of Cataclysms. But it's returned by the Yasuo ultimates. Everyone's getting involved. But after all of that, it's the Jarvans who come out on top. 5-0. Ace for Japan.
Every single Jarvan's alive. Oh no. Those poor Yasuos. There was nothing left for them. That was disgusting.
Bonk, bonk, bonk. Team Fire, LJL finish off the Nexus in style. Jarvan reigns supreme, slaying the samurais of CIS.
And as an end result, we have worked out that Jarvan is in fact greater than Yasuo.
I want to see more Jarvan. That's what I've learned from this game. Jarvan, best all-for-one champion confirmed. What a game. That was absolutely fantastic.
We've also worked out that Hereti was the worst Jarvan, and Dara was KSing because Seros and Evie were doing ridiculous amounts of damage.
Yeah, pretty much the same damage, actually.
Whereas,
almost 17k apiece.
We said
Kira
Smurf wasn't grouping, but he did the most damage.
Yeah, Kira, he did third most damage.
He did alright.
He did alright.
He was getting focused.
And Zandra, yeah.
He wasn't having a great time. Mind you, in that last fight, is there such thing as focus? That was... I wish the analyst desk could attempt to replay something like that and talk through it.
I think the final fight was the best one. I think that was the best representation of Jarvan versus Yasuo.
Absolute fiesta.
I want to watch that again. I'm sad that happened at the end because I think that was my favorite fight of the entire game.
I feel like they were just all walking around with their shakers, you know, just going off. Tambourines here and there.
Oh.
Destroying people's health. Jarvan. I didn't consider Jarvan.
Me neither.
And we went through most of this and we're like, Ryze will get played every game. Ryze looks great.
Yeah,
one
Ryze,
for all.
LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Look at all these broken champions.
LeBlanc's insane.
Go back to the basics. Go back to the Jarvans.
So Ezreal lost to Zac as well. But Ezreal won against damage dealers. So we're kind of finding this cycle of things that are good and bad. Tanks beat carries. The carries of the better degree beat other carries. However, they lose the tanks. So now we're just in a circle, and it has begun.
It has. Where does Jarvan fit in that as well? Because both damage dealers and tanks, like against an Ezreal as well. Difficult to know, but we have more, of course, later in the tournament, so we'll see how it turns out. Let's check in with Hingers, though, who is standing by with LJL's Evie to hear more about that win.
Thank you, Pulse. First of all, congratulations on the win. And secondly, I want to ask you about the Jarvan pick. That wasn't kind of in the meta. How long ago did you decide to pick Jarvan for the one for alls?
今回の大会、ジャーバンっていうメタはまだ明らかになってない中、なぜジャーバンを選んだんですか？
まずそのツイッターでどのチャンピオンがいいかをフォロワーの皆さんに聞いてみたんですね。そうするとそのワン・フォー・オールの統計サイトっていうのを貼ってもらって、その中でジャーバン4が勝率が1位だったので、僕がみんなにこれジャーバン強いよどうかなって言ってみたらいいねってなってジャーバンを使うことになりました。
Well, I asked our fans. I went on Twitter and said, what's strong in one for all? And it turns out, based on everyone's voting, Jarvan was the strongest, with the winning percentage very high. So we went with him.
So you just picked it off Twitter. That's amazing. Secondly, I want to ask as well about your 4-0 now in the group. Have you outperformed your expectations going into this tournament, do you think?
今回自分自身ここまで 4-0 っていう中で、ここまでいけるっていう自信はありました。
あんまり先のこと考えてなかったですけど、まあそこそこいい位置にはいけるのかなと思ったんですけど、まさか全勝できるとは思ってなかったですね。素直にすごい嬉しいです。
To be honest, I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't looking forward to all the games. I was taking one step at a time. To be honest, I'm very happy with how we performed, and at the same time, a little bit surprised.
Excellent stuff, yeah. And finally, the ice group still is wide open. I think Oceania can still qualify if they win their 1v1s, or Latin America South is still in it as well. If you had to pick an opponent going into the finals, who would it be out of the ice group?
今、アイスチームの方がまだ1位チームが決まってない中、実際当たってほしい、実際登ってほしい人、相手として、誰が一番望みましいですか？
そう、やっぱりロシアチームが上がってほしいなと思いますね。やっぱり WCS にも出たことがあるので、そういった強いメンバーとまた戦ってみたいと思います。
I would really like to see CIS come up to the ladder. Having been at WCS, I'd like to play against one of the world's best. So having them there would be great.
Excellent. Yeah, great response. Well, I look forward to seeing that potentially. Who knows what's going to happen in the rest of this crazy group. Thanks so much for your time. Best of luck in the rest of the tournament. And now it's time to throw it over to Sifa right now, who's going to break down what we just saw.
Thank you very much, Hingers. I have no idea what we just saw.
Luckily,
I have 3 people here who can help me sort this one out. So, Vedius, you were very adamant that Yasuo was the superior duelist here.
I was adamant, like, this is a free win for Yasuo. The Samurai is just going to come on in and dismantle this Jarvan because there's no way they're going to get out of laning phase. Like, Yasuo should have won the top lane, should have won the mid lane, 2v2 bottom. They'd already got it pushed in. I'm like, as long as Yasuo never groups up, they should out-duel the Jarvan. Not a problem. It should have been a free win for the Yasuo.
It doesn't look like they had a choice. We look at the early game. The second these J4s hit level 6, stuff just got pretty unreal pretty fast.
It was literally at this moment that I turned to Vedius. I was like, out-duel this.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I mean, this 2v4, kind of unfair. I mean, he tried. He tried. But unfortunately, one of the big things for Yasuo is he didn't have an ability that he was allowed to use. The wind wall was completely unavailable because there was nothing you could block with it.
All I'm hearing are excuses, Vedius.
I think the Yasuos were lagging as well, and like there was.
Oh wow! Okay, all right, Mithy.
From a smart standpoint, I think that the CIS team thought that they were going to pick Ezreal, and therefore picked Yasuo as a counter pick to Ezreal. I don't think they just wanted to pick Yasuo for the fun of it, because it just felt like the matchup was heavily in favor of Jarvan.
Well, as we talk about this, let's just get some more Jarvan wombo combos, because those are sweet. Let's just keep throwing up the Jarvan wombo combos. See the Kira solo kill here, though, before we get into that?
This is what I was talking about, though.
This was the moment of hope.
This was the point that I was talking about, though. Typically, in a 1 versus 1, Yasuo is very strong, especially when he gets an item or 200.
But that was because Jarvan screwed up by... he thought, basically, that he would ult the Yasuo under the tower and missed by just an inch.
Don't bring logic into this.
Yeah.
He's already
real analysis, as Mithy would say.
Fine.
Of course, we have a few more clips of Jarvan wombo combos so you can see exactly the end of the game, which was just a complete chain of insanity.
Yeah,
here.
but really what this comes down to is the AoE damage coming down as they all ult on top of each other. That's what's really impressive and why this combo was so successful.
I couldn't even tell what happened here because
everyone's in the air.
The funny thing about this one is that the Yasuos, when they ult all on the same target, they're just stunning themselves in place for literally every Jarvan to use their piece of AoE damage.
And with the buffs to Jarvan, now the ult does AoE damage to everyone inside the ult and not just the main target that was targeted.
Just insane damage. A little bleed out there to close out.
I mean, it was
clip.
fun. It was a great way to end. But I can't believe the way that was decided was, hey, Twitter, what's really good in One for All? And then they turn around and go, Jarvan's really good. Jarvan's really... Okay, yeah, good. We'll run Jarvan then.
Oh, my God.
All
right.
Was it really?
Well,
Twitter.
Okay. We'll see if they continue to trust in Twitter with their All for Ones played out. Here's where we stand overall. Turkey, of course, has secured first. Japan locked in their second seed. That is due to their overall wins in the 1v1 matchup. And CIS is now out, unfortunately, due to the fact that LAS has more wins in the 1v1 bracket overall, and that is how we will decide tiebreakers.
So for Southeast Asia, it is now down to them, really, in the 1 versus 1. If they can come out victorious in their 1v1, they go into a tiebreaker versus Brazil, and they need to win as many of those 1v1 games as they possibly can.
As quickly as possible as well.
Yeah, we have to look, of course, the second determining factor will be the length of the 1v1. So if you want to farm it out, you might guarantee a win, but you have to look at that timing overall. But now we are going to move to a quick break. Next, Oceania have one last chance to advance to Championship Sunday, but Southeast Asia are standing in their way. The final showdown on Murder Bridge is coming up.
Here comes the ultimate. The Matia Lex hit the floor. There is no escaping from this Japanese jungle. I don't know what's going on anymore. Xanzer, a nice knocker. Oh, you're thinking about going back in, but the Flying Drag will knock him up as well. 5 for 1. That was an ace. That's a big knocker. But that's cancelled. Cataclysms go in. And Zeros finds the kill into Smurf. This is a complete disaster.